Apparently, TikTok puts your video on For You page when it's only 7 seconds. Did it work?
Hey, you.
Chop chop.
Yeah, you, the one looking at the phone all googly-eyed. Did you eat today? Did you drink water? No? I thought not. Go get on that shit. You're a beautiful flower that needs nourishment. You're an absolute gem. I want you healthy and happy. I do this because I care about you, dumbass.
Chop chop.
Well, this big old machine must have some kind of visual records.
Oh, God, I mean, no. And anyway, they're voice locked.
Oh, voice locked. So I would just have to say, show me all visual records of previous TARDIS inhabitants.
No. I mean, voice locked. I would have to say, show me your visual records of previous TARDIS inhabitants.
Oh, thank you.
No!
Gandalf.
Thanks, dear. Miss out the metal doll, why don't you?
Is that a leather bikini?
Wait, shh. It's too quiet.
You skipped quiet.
I didn't skip. It's obviously quiet if it's too quiet.
Yeah, but you're supposed to say...
You know what, Summer? Now it's not quiet enough.
Things you wouldn't hear on a quiz show.
It's the banker. He says he's got your kids.
Oh wait, I'm gonna keep on this for a bit longer. Because I like to have this start off the thing for at least 10 seconds. I don't know why. Maybe not. But the first one, I'm doing more of these even though I don't need to. But I've recently finished this book and someone told me, I don't know if I can find the person when I make the clip in like the 11th, which is where this will be actually added onto YouTube so I can make a clip out of this. But I read this book and I have watched the series that this came from. So that's why I bought it. The art in this is so amazing. Like, I know the art in the TV series was really good. And the story in this, there are a couple of changes, but not, I think at this point, too many. There's one thing about the location, but that's but overall I really enjoy this. So you should buy it.
I keep dying, and it doesn't. I knew I could have made it past it. Is this stage here that I hate the most? Okay. What's going on? Stop. Okay.
You're up.
I think I need to get a couple of these. Let's get a couple of this, and then I'll get flame ready. Jesus. I need to get the ability and the check. Let's get hot because I think I need hot. Okay. Okay, so that's kind of a transport, which I'm gonna get sweat, but I'm gonna 10. So I just need a double. Let's do this. Don't have a pair. I got it. 4 of a kind. Let's see if I use 4 of a kind. Those are all suits, which is fun. Besides man. Done. Oh, deck unlocked. Which is the blue one. Also, Joker unlocked, which I can't get right now, I don't think. You have achieved. Oh. 8 interest plus 1. Yeah, if you keep 5 in here, you do that. Wait, where am I? Who are you? Oh no, what's that? What's that behind you? Oh. I think it's upright. But yeah. Some of these films of Predator and Alien I like. Some of them I don't mind. This one, it's not even that I don't like it. It's fine. But I think the first Predator does it better. I don't know what. I think I've seen a bit of this before where it's like, oh, people just dropped out of the sky and then like that. I'd seen a couple of minutes of it beforehand. And again, maybe it's because I've seen this and there's other ones even older that, like, the first Predator I like. And I'm like, I like that concept. I don't know. There's not much to talk about besides one thing, but the one thing I do like as an idea in this is basically like you have a bunch of people, and the idea of the whole film, which you slowly find out, is just a couple people drop, and then it's like, oh, why are we here? Oh, because they tried to get like people who were like dangerous, deadly, and have them in like a hunting game. It's basically Predator's turn. It's like, we can do like human hunting, and I like that as an idea. But I also like the idea that at a certain point, one of the people who's like, oh, I'm gonna stay here because back then I'm just weak. I'm not really that good. But now, well, I can do what I want. I can be, and the idea that like the person who was cold beforehand was like, doesn't seem that bad compared to this person who is being manipulative, and that twist is interesting. I also like the idea throughout most of it, it's like he was a bit cold, he even let like some people die. It's a bit inhumane, but I get it. You're in a thing, and mercenaries is like, yep, not my thing, I'm just gonna move. But again, it's... Anyway, I'll totally leave that in. Keep saying that. Anyway, I kept redoing this because sometimes if there's a film where it's like, I go, and I think it's entertaining overall. Which, yes and no. I like the idea of what it is. I am excited for Prey, which is what the other thing. It is entertaining as a way for you to watch and not, like, worry. But compared to other Predators, I do think there are better ones. So I hope you enjoy, and good night.
When you said you were magical in bed, this isn't exactly what I was expecting.
Is this your card?
Holy shit.
What's wrong? What's wrong? Seriously, what's wrong? I've never seen anyone die before. Tell me this. You've seen people die before, yeah?
Of course.
You still care?
Of course I care.
How many?
How many what?
If you care so much, tell me how many people you've seen die.
I don't know.
Okay. How many before you lost count?
I care, Bill, but I move on.
Yeah. How quickly?
It's not me you're angry with. And you know what happens if I don't move on? More people die.
Do you want to help me? Do you want to stand here, stamping your foot? Because let me tell you something. I'm 2,000 years old, and I've never had the time for the luxury of outrage.
Do you want fries with that?
Where I'm from, we call fries potato Jeremies.
Where the fuck are you from?
So I heard you don't love yourself. You know what this means? Start loving yourself.
Oh, you finally scrolled to me? Took you long enough. Get in the dungeon. You're mine now. But, no buts. The only butt I want to see is yours in the maid outfit. Now get!
Not that. Yeah. Oh, shit. Jesus. Oh, no, it's fine. Anyway. So I'm gonna, like, say this, and I do like this book series, and I like how this one specifically is doing, I think, the arcs of, like, them starting to, like, build up to it, and it's starting to begin the mystery. But yeah, I've talked about the series, I talked about how I like the story. I just like how the panels, that's the new thing I'm going to say with this, I love the panels. Yes.
Here goes.
Yeah, I don't think we're... Yeah. Exit. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna try. So what I'm gonna do, what does this do? Doubles money, max of 20. Paintbrush reduced. That was probably a bad point to use it. But sure, I get more money, temporarily. No, I just play hard.
And now, after this break, you will hear an article about how UI's shows brought back to life will steal your job. So yeah, this show, I find it interesting, and I don't know how many people did watch it. I'm not gonna look at the statistics because I don't think I need to, but I did a long one for season 1. It's not gonna be as long as this one. It is gonna be long because I like it. Except the not spoiler section, but it's going to be a bit bigger than the last one, which was basically just 1 minute. But the last time I reviewed this was back all the way in December. I think that was just before I went on holiday to Spain. So that was the last thing I reviewed before going to Spain, which is weird because now I'm thinking about Spain, holiday in Spain, which was really good. Besides the point. Which is also weird because this is a weird timing that I've got another review on another cover-up, which technically will be added to the full one, which is being on holiday cover again. What are the chances? I don't know. This is hilarious. Anyway, one of the things that I think is good about this, I think how it's sort of like shown is really interesting. How they have these how they go from the first season to this season. And let's talk about the loop a second. Okay, so this is going to be a bit one because there's so many points I want to talk about. One, I love the idea that they did with this, whereas they still they are out there. They exist, and slowly but surely they're experimenting to try and make something new, to try create something. And some moments are interesting, and when you get UIs getting destroyed, killed, etc., 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 when you have the dad's consciousness, and I know later on, spoiler to the spoiler, he ends up being not dead. Well, not dead in the way of, like, he's not deleted. But the version that's in there was, like, deleted. I find interesting. I absolutely find this interesting. And when you learn more, and the one thing I love is through this is eventually one of the actual, like, because you have the UIs that I've done before, and you have people becoming UIs, but you see that more of, like, people either you don't know, or people, because, like, the main people from this that's happened are people from the past that become UIs, and then it's like, oh, we're now in the future, etc., 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 and we're using, and, like, these three people that was in season 1 were, like, the only three people that you knew personally, rather than people in the background. So I like the idea that it's like, eventually, even, like, some people who are, like, sort of, like, the main, like, you have one family, you have, like, I think two families. You have the family with the daughter that her father got turned into a UI, and then you have one person who's meant to replace someone else to fix the bug, etc., etc., etc. And I like, because before season 1, her father died, UI, thought it was fake. Anyway, you know that was obvious. And then he gets brought back, and there's really complications. But the mother, later on in the series, also becomes a UI. You also have, like, this human thing where it's like, oh, here's UI, here's not. And it's really interesting. And I love the idea. The one thing I love, and it is something that I feel like might be true, which is eventually the UIs are so powerful, they do everything so amazing, but it's like, it's gone to, it's gone to, from AI, them being like, oh, what AI will take my job, to, oh, what, when will the UI take my job? I would have fun. I would watch cinema instead. Legitimately, the one thing which I would say would be really interesting, if UIs ever were to become real in this world, and people had UIs, and, like, all other jobs besides, like, stuff like this existed, all covered by UIs, which I'm not saying, I'm not being like, have jobs be taken by UI. Just imagine being like, hi, well, I'm just doing this while all other things. But it's just the funniest thing. Again, I'm not claiming AI taking over jobs is a good thing. I just love the hilarious. I'm just like, oh, everyone's just. It's like, are you saying, like, not one person? Like, two things. One, are you saying, like, what? Like, is it all jobs? Is, like, the cinemas like, are, like, theaters full of UIs, or is it just, like, all, like, non-entertaining, like, roles, or, like, where does that line drawn? Are script writers being done by UIs? Are directors being done by UIs? Are acting being done? Like, and second, are there not people who'd be like, I want to have a job? Because I'm pretty sure there's some people who are like, own, like, a small, like, car factory, or, like, own, like, a small, like, it's a thing that I see in humans, whereas, like, see a thing where it's like, they pick up, like, they do, like, they own, like, a small, like, food stall, and it's like, I just want to have a small job. Is it not like that? No. It's like, are you saying everyone's being like, slowly but surely, everyone's just being like, nope, we don't want jobs now? That's what I pick. It's just really interesting to think about, being like, and I like, and at the end, this actually might be 10 minutes because, geez, I have a lot to talk. At the end, the reveal that is like, oh, I came from outside, and it's like, because the show is Pantheon, and I didn't think about it, because there's some shows that have, like, these sci-fi sounding names, and it's like, okay, there's a sci-fi sounding name, I don't need to think about it, I don't need to question it, it's a sci-fi name, so it's going to be somewhat like sci-fi, I think, I don't know. Probably. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he is. That's not for me to think about. But the one thing I do find interesting is it does have a meaning. Because pantheon, if I'm correct, a pantheon of gods are multiple gods. And maybe that was the reason, and I'm an idiot, like they're creating these digital gods, which I think someone made an analyst of, like pantheon, like each person becomes like a separate god, which would be interesting. But I also like the idea that during the spoiler, it's revealed that there are multiple like timelines being played alongside each other. Again, this is one of the few times I might actually use, because TikTok, if you're using YouTube Short, TikTok has 10 minutes, and this is actually won't be YouTube Short, this will be straight up YouTube video. TikTok has 10 minutes rather than 3 minutes. Will YouTube Short have 10 minutes? I don't know. I don't think so. I know 3 minutes was the first one that TikTok had, and maybe 10 minutes. That's besides the point. Anyway, the thing that you have a multitude of timeline is that they look into one. Does that mean season 4? I don't think so. I feel like they're just playing alongside each other, and I don't know what's going to happen. Like, everyone's turned to a UI, and they're just living their thing, and they're just repeating. I don't know what this means in the grand scheme, because again, I'm so confused. If anyone has any pointers to if it's season 3 or not, I don't think there is. Let me just check. Pantheon season 3. No. There will not be a second season of Pantheon, the animated. No. So it's just left there. I think it's good to be left there, but I do find the show really exciting. So yeah, besides this being one of the very few 10 minutes that I've had in an absolute while, I've tried to trim it down because sometimes I just ramble. And I mean, like, okay, maybe I should with certain shows. With this, I like the Pantheon idea, I like the multiple UI ideas, so I like that. So I want to talk about that. But for certain things, I'm like, I don't need 10 minutes. I need a little bit of time. Because I'm just a person who likes saying certain things in reviews. So yeah. And I do like this. I do enjoy this. And I 100% recommend this to you. So I hope you enjoy. And good night. Good night.
When people feel bad, they can rub my belly. It'll make them feel better. Rub my belly. No. Come on. Rub it.
No happening.
Rub it.
No. Let me be clear. I don't want to touch your belly, okay?
Okie doke.
I just remembered what happened in September. I'm the one who killed them all. I survived after the fall.
Oh, that's a dope ass car, bro. How much is it?
I don't know.
New? That's not how you say it.
Then how do you say it then?
It's I don't knowing. Bro, it's not I don't knew or I don't knowing. Then what is it then? I don't know.
Fucking dumbass. If you didn't know, shut the fuck up.
What's your 5-year plan?
What's that mean, 5-year plan?
Like your 5-year plan? Like, what are you going to be doing in the next 5 years? Do you have a
What's
plan?
someone doing in the next 5 years?
Yeah, you need to have a plan. You need to have a 5-year plan.
Emma doesn't really know what he's going to do in the next 5 hours.
I don't know how much value I have in this universe, but I do know that I made a few people happier than they would have been without me. And as long as I know that, I'm as rich as I ever need to be. So I'll catch you on the rebound, your magnitude.
57. But that's one of the things which is hilarious. This is the last episode of me creating a short. That is me being like, here's my notes on Mars Singer. Which is hilarious. It's like, it's been so long. Because I watched the series like ages ago and I'm still being like, Mars Singer, Mars Singer, Mars Singer, Mars Singer. Oh, but yeah, it's so fun. 5 out of 12. I turned into a coach when I could have been an alcoholic. What the f... Yeah, TV's a cult, who cares? I feel like this is old enough that like the message hasn't been played too many times. And so many people were like, you are addicted to technology and like that sort of stuff. And I'm like, who cares? Like, oh no, I'm addicted to like technology and all of this stuff. I'm like, good. Tell me something I don't know. Or like you. I feel like at this point in like the thing. Because I can't be like, I need to pull this upstairs. Wait, what? Okay, February 4th, there was a Greenland invasion, new scenario. Do you know what? Do you know what? Out now, Greenland infiltration. Okay. Change of plans, everyone. I'm just still going to maybe try zombies later. Also, genetic dominations, player versus player, and wins multiplayer. I have not won. What's happening? Okay. I'll move this closer. Okay, no, I'm gonna skip you. I've heard you before, and I don't need to hit you again. That enough? Yeah, well, I hope that's enough, because that or I'm fucked. Oh, because it's less than an hour, you know, the house always wins, obviously. You run. Okay, continue. You Joker. Continue. Yeah, I'm not gonna do speedrun. Wait, it's me. No! I was gonna talk about all my evil things and all my secret things. No! But yeah. Besides that moment I'm sort of alluding to, but it did badly. Somewhat on purpose, somewhat just for fun. I like the show. I fully do find it entertaining. I also find it's one of the shows that has... Sometimes having a shorter name is, like... I know there's a reason. There's a whole thing of, like... so you don't read, like, the back of the book. So the book title basically describes the book in title, which is a thing. I do love this series. I do think this series is really entertaining. And overall, the idea of it, it's fun, it's chaotic. But again, it's not one of the series goes to another world, gets powers because of a specific scenario, da-da-da-da. You see, again, a lot of the animes I watch are this. And I like it for a reason. Because I love it and I find it absolutely entertaining. But overall, it's like, why do I like it? Well, it looks cool. The one thing I want to talk about is, the one bit of spoiler, which I think is a really interesting idea, is the idea of that later on in the battle, they get their sort of own duplicates, and they're like, the more they admit some of the things that they're not good at, or dark feelings that they wouldn't say themselves, the more stronger the opponent gets, and I love that as an idea. I also love the line where I was like, what do you mean? Yeah, I just looked at yourself and within the last 5 minutes, I found out all my weaknesses. I'm like, wow.
That's the funnest thing. Like, I don't need to acknowledge or admit anything. I'm just going to analyze myself and discover how to beat myself, which is amazing. But again, besides that, it's mostly fun idea, grouped together, going through these things. I'm interested in what they're doing it because they've got all these magics and they're going to one more thing before going back. And that I'm going to find interesting. And like, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen here? And I am excited. But overall, it is just a fun series. But yeah, like I said, I do enjoy it. It is a fun series. There's nothing much really to talk about. I just like it because it's fun and just weird. But yeah, I hope you enjoy and good night.
Things that forgot to work. Like they should. If you do a spin dash attack after passing the goal in Sonic 1 and then press down on the D-pad, the game crashes. Cause of reasons. If you land 2 hits on the final hit of Robotnik, you'll have to hit him another 255 times to win. Cause of reasons. Also, you can't achieve that in the time limit of the game, so tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Sometimes the game won't give you invincibility frames, so you just immediately die if anything touches you. Cause of reasons. Sonic can literally die because he went too fast. Cause of reasons. Sometimes this happens, cause, reasons. Seriously, I don't actually know what just happened. Cause of reasons.
This year, I lost my dear husband, Edgar.
Quit telling everyone I'm dead!
Sometimes I can still hear his voice.
Doctor? Captain? Good to see you. And you? Same as ever. Although, have you had work done? You can talk. Oh, yes, the face. Regeneration. How did you know this was me?
The police box kind of gives it away. I've been following you for a long time. You abandoned me.
Did I? Busy life, moving on.
Rescue me, Chinboy, and show me the stars.
Does it look real to you?
Does what look real?
Where you are right now. Does it seem real?
It is real.
It's a dream, Oswin. You dreamed it for yourself because the truth was too terrible.
Where am I?
Because you are a Dalek.
I am not a Dalek. I am not a Dalek. I'm human.
You were human when you crashed here. It was you who climbed out of the pond. That was your ladder.
How long have you known?
Ever since I ran away from you.
When did you realize?
Birth, 1892. Got on a fight on Ellis Island. Man shot me through the heart. Then I woke up. Thought it was kind of strange, but then it never stopped. Fell off a cliff, trampled by horses, World War I, World War II, poison, starvation, a stray javelin. In the end, I got the message. I'm the man who can never die. And all that time you knew.
That's why I left you behind. It's not easy just looking at you, Jack, because you're wrong.
Thanks.
You are, I can't help it. I'm a Time Lord, it's instinct. It's in my guts. You're a fixed point in time and space. You're a fact. That's never meant to happen. Even the TARDIS reacted against you, tried to shake you off. Flew all the way to the end of the universe just to get rid of you.
So what you're saying is you're, prejudiced?
I never thought of it like that.
Shame on you.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is sort of the playlist. I've said I've got like a playlist of YouTube and I haven't shown it. Here it is. It starts off here. Where is it? I'm midway through it. It starts off here. I watched Smosh Pit, Reading Reddit, Cinema Therapy, Murder Rose, Dr. Mike, Difficult Kitchen, Smosh Cast. Daryl talks about games. I'm rewatching the entire time because it felt like it. Press Escape. Anthony Padilla, Straw Hat Goofy. And then you go to Game Theory, Film Theory, Order of Theory, Game Style Film, Nickelby, Seen It, Answering It, and then that goes up here, which also has Answer It, but I'm still watching through it. SMG4, Last Week Tonight, Afmao, Drumsy, the show about I Can't Say Brown Table, and then finally finishing off with some Scream. This is the easiest section in my opinion. I'm still going to add it into the highlight.
I used to. I'd like to point out if any of the kids in that thought the robot was real. Giving kids riot gear, I don't think is a good idea. Okay, let me try doing emoting. I would like to point out, with how incompetent the police is, why isn't he more... Okay. Okay. Ooh. Straight. Thank you. I think I've got it. Woo! Oh. 25%! I've got to achieve one, yay. This Joker gains +2. The hand compares a pair. Do you want? Yes. I'm going to take that. And now, everything changes. I don't know what, but I'm not part of a story. So yeah, I like this, and I am a bit annoyed now, because I did a research of, like, trying to be, like, I was doing some research for, like, oh, when is this coming out, or when is this coming out, for, like, Punisher Season 2, or, like, a couple other seasons, and I was like, wait, what about Human Season 4? Because I know there's Season 3, but I'm like, oh, no, it's not going to happen. But also, I also need to point out that, debatably, I started watching when this originally came out, and I didn't give it a chance. I was like, it's good, but then dropped it. So, yeah, maybe I'm the problem. I like where Season 2 takes it. There is something in Season 3 which I don't like, but that's just a small thing, and I like, overall, they do it better than before. But I like how it continues, how it goes better, etc, etc, etc. I do think it's really good, though. And, for some reason, I forgot how to spell human. But yeah, I do think it's really good, and really, I think, amazing for where it goes, and how it improves in what it is. I do agree with that. The one thing I definitely like is more specifically the end. And in my opinion, a lot of this is my opinion, because this is what I believe, this is me saying, this is what I like, which is what I don't like, which is fair, valid, and technically correct. In Human, Season 2, one of the things that they have is, I'm not going to talk about too much about Season 3, because that's Season 3, and this is me talking about my opinions for Season 2. But I love the idea that it's like, okay, this person decided we need to do X, Y, and Z, and all of this stuff. And then they do it, and then they release it, and then, yeah. if you know season 3, you know what I'm talking about. Or if you don't, because I don't know if I was being a fucking idiot. But they sort of released it, make everyone like, we're all self-aware, yes. But I find it really annoying. Also, the one thing I find interesting is that they build up something in season 1, which I kind of find it also a bit annoying, which is, why don't we make emotional scenes? And yes, you have the children, but besides never making that generally public, which I also think is a missed opportunity. I also like the fact that the detective that was in the first season dies in this one, which makes it so sad. Because I think he was a really interesting character, and him trying to improve with sort of like his partner because of that, I think was also really good. I just love that idea and find it really interesting in general. But again, I'll talk about season 3 when I come to season 3. I just think I would have thought it could have been done better in a different way. But yeah, I do love this series. I am annoyed there's no season 4 because the way that they cliffhang things before is annoying. But I do think this is a good series. But yeah, I hope you enjoy and good night.
It's a lot to take in, isn't it? Tiny box, huge room inside. What's that about? Let me explain.
It's another dimension?
It's basically another dimension. What?
After what happened with Prisoner Zero, I've been reading up on all the latest scientific theories. FTL travel, parallel universes.
I like the bit when someone says it's bigger on the inside. I always look forward to that.
So, this date. I'm kind of done with running down corridors. What do you think, Rory?
How about somewhere romantic?
Oh, I'll think of something. You're just making this up as you go along. Yep. But I do it brilliantly.
Things you wouldn't hear on a quiz show.
So, this next question is for £1 million, which I will be paying from my own pocket. I will only ask this question once. What is...
Can you turn all of the water in this ocean into glass? I've coded it so that every time you follow, every time you like, and every time you share, you turn one water source block in this ocean into a glass block.
Forwards! Forwards! Oh, there's nothing in there. Or is there? So yeah. I like Gen V, which I think is sort of like based off one, because this is from The Boys World. And I love the idea that they're like Gen V. Because you have Gen Z and Gen X as like two ideas. And I love you have, in The Boys, you have Chemical V. I don't know what it's called. I think it's something V. Chemical V or like, I think it is Chemical V. Whereas like they produce it. And these people have grown up with like Chemical V being like in people and like this is the thing. So they're like Gen V. Which I think is like, it's different to what we, I think, actually have, which I think is Gen Alpha, which is a thing. I think that's the one that's called. I don't know. I really don't. But I do love the idea that it's like Gen V. Besides the point of the name, I do think this show is really interesting with the idea of the mystery constantly building up. What's actually happening? Who is to trust? What's happening here? What's happening there? I think that's like really interesting and really exciting. I definitely think that is something that like I love as a concept overall. So that's one of the things I love. The other one is the idea of like you're dealing with like, because with The Boys you're dealing with like, oh, these bigger people that have these powers. But with this it's like, well, they're not the people who have the power. They don't have this power to control. Speaking of which, one of the things that I love is that at the end of the entire series, one of the things that happens is at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, these people are doing these things. It's like, all of you stand down. And they arrest all of them. Put them all in the facility. It's like, wait. We weren't involved in this. And I don't know if that's a sort of like The Boys doing The Boys. Which if that's the case, I love the idea of that. being like, he's like, oh, I'm just gonna blame all of you so that we can cover all of this up, like we can hide it under the rug. It's like, oh, it's nothing to do with the forest. It's these problematic people who are doing the problem, which I love. I also like the idea that this is sort of like, rather than like seeing the truth, I like cover. It's just a big cover up, which is a fun idea, and it is totally like with the boys that they would do something like that. But yeah, I do think this is really good, and I 100% enjoy this and would recommend. And I hope you enjoy, and good night.
All the other children said I was too noisy, so I was always made to sit outside. And then one day, somebody burned down the school. And that person was me.
Can I ask you a stupid question? Better than anyone else I know. Why do crabs walk sideways? So they can do their song. What? Oh, I do like to be beside the sea.
Are you kidding? That's unfair. She made those. I need to calm down. Everything's fine.
Amanda.
I'm an adult.
So, Moon Girl Lab Season 1. I said this in Moon Girl Season 2, that realistically I'm going to keep this to 1 minute, because the one reason why I think this is good, and it isn't shorts about like, oh, this and that, it's straight up just, science. Like, 1 minute we're going to talk about, like, adaptation. 1 minute we're going to talk about, like, states of matter. And for a show that's, like, has this character that has this knowledge of science, it's like, you like this character? You think this character is cool? Let's talk about science through that. And I think that's smart. That's really it. Because that's really it what the show is. It's fun, it's cool, and it's educational. I also like the idea, the only thing that I would like to spoil... It is fun. I like the idea in the State of Mana one, but like, you have plasma, but we're not going to talk about that because you don't need to. It's very complicated. I'm back because I need to do holiday cover. Another book, because, yeah, I said this in the last day for YouTube a couple of minutes ago for Twitch. But yeah, this is the book. I want to do the other thing because I need to segment the thing, like have YouTube. Anyway. Google and thing. I like how this is going, and I like this book, how it won. Sort of like the last book sort of ended on like Sherlock getting arrested. It sort of looks into that investigation. It also wraps up because there was also a thing about like, oh, one person is like sort of hunting humans. Spoilers, by the way. But this sort of like wraps up that sort of thing, and I'm excited to talk about the next one, because the next one has an amazing thing with Moneypenny, who was the whole reason why I bought these books, and because she's not in the TV show, if I remember. And then I'm going to go down here. That's going to be the plan. Wow. So yeah. Through all your battles and all my rhymes, you have failed and perished 205 times. So yeah. Yeah. Okay, why wasn't this key stolen 10 times already? Jeez. Bot is legitimately a person who should have a record, because he has stole something from the Quickie Mart, and that's a fact. He's now also stolen a police key. Using Barbie dolls as spearheads. That is hilarious. Boing. Jokers. Ooh. Okay. Jesus. And all of them died a horrible death. The end. And they all died a horrible death. Why is there so many jokes in this episode? But I could just use that. And they all died a horrible death. The end. Okay. I don't know why I just restarted it. Okay. Redeem because I don't know what it does and it looks really useful. Oh, that's what it does! Okay, I can't get that. But this is good. This is good. I've got a choice of 3. Okay, that's pretty... I've only got 3 discard, which is terrifying. I've got times 10. Times 10, people! This is how useful this card is. Yep, sticking with this. That's my thing. Okay, got it. And now, go. Yeah, I'm back. Oops, my light. That's beside the point for the time being. But I've got this book. This is the next one. I'm starting to read more because I need like 1 hour no text. And the one thing which I said in the last short, and I'm pretty sure it got cut out. This is the book that deals with like when this takes place, which I didn't know at the beginning, which is sort of they mentioned the Afghanistan one, which apparently I don't know how
like true it is, not to real life, but like this is to real life in a way. But like how bad the Afghanistan war is, because I know it was not great. But I also love the idea that Miss Moneypenny's in this. Like someone commented about like, oh, they took Miss Moneypenny out of the anime, and I'm like, what? And this is the one that she is introduced with, and it is so good.
Do you regret what you did? Nah. Would you do it again? Sure, why not?
On your marks, get set, race! Plan set, yes. Blow them up! But yeah. I like this because on one hand, you have the first bit looking like it's going to be a sort of like race. And then when you slowly reveal what's going on, who's behind what, who's doing what, and like what's people who are doing certain actions in that sort of way, like, oh, this, that, and the other, is like, ooh, this is interesting. Who's gonna, like, what's going on, what's truly happening. It's, like, interesting. Like, because you see people being like, oh, this is going according to plan. And when you see Law being like, oh, something's going down, something is happening, it makes you more interesting. It makes you like want to be like, okay, what is happening right now? And when you learn more about it, it makes it just interesting. But okay, one of the things I definitely like is the sort of mate, because you have the more smaller controlling one trying to do something. And that I do like. His motivation, I find it interesting. And I do like the idea that it's all about this sort of like control, which I like. Because the last one with, I think it was, the last one, which was Gold, he was like, oh, I'm going to control the money. Because like he was through that. And I like how he's just once. I don't know. I find it interesting how he just is like, I will control, and it's not, I don't know why, but I just like the last villain. I didn't say this before, how it's connected to like, the sort of like, because the One Government truly is the worst villain, because like, he was motivated because of that, because he was taken under as sort of like a slave in a way, because he had those like things, I think, and then he became the worst person. I also like how the main villain, I say the main villain, but the main aggressive villain is this person who, the only reason why he is sort of like in this villainy position is because he straight up wants to sort of become a sort of like, he wanted a rival. He saw like Goldie Rogers as like a true rival, and he didn't truly get a victory, and I feel like that's why he has this sort of like one to beat. He doesn't have someone who can be as strong as he can, and I love that. I absolutely find this entertaining and absolutely fun, and I definitely 100% recommend. I also find it hilarious that I've shown this in the making, but it's not going to come out for like a while. That usually I watch something and then I review something, not review, I watch a sort of like thing, and then I review it, and that is sort of the cycle. I love that I'm going from this one, and then the next thing that's going to be on my next 10 watch is going to be Red, which is hilarious. But yeah, so I hope you enjoy, and good night.